My name is Nico Alicea. I'm a Latino man in long-term recovery, and I'm the Western Mass Regional Coordinator.
Hi, my name is Kirsten Puccio, and I'm the Central Mass Regional Coordinator for MOAR, the Massachusetts Organization for Addiction Recovery.
That is a trick question. There is no such thing as a typical day. We begin scheduling, right? We start to schedule and we notice that there's a community need. So we adjust accordingly, and we adjust our schedules, of course. There's no fluid day. The only thing that we can count on is that we're going to be needed, and that a certain thing may come up that we need to be a part of. And then the typical feeling is like sometimes you want to be everywhere at once, but you really can't. So the best thing you do is you just try to resource and make phone calls and be there as much as you can in the community.
So there's actually not a typical day in our work life. So you make your own schedule. You have regularly scheduled groups that you do weekly and sometimes monthly, but outside of that, you make your own schedule outside of staff meetings and things that are mandatory.
You must always remember that you're valuable. You brought tools, the tools that you have brought you here. And that ultimately means that somebody valued you, so you must value yourself. Don't come to this position because you are not valuable. The resources that you know, the people that you know, the relationships that you have made play a key role on how easier your job can be.
So I would say learning about the legislative process is really important. How bill becomes law, how to advocate for bills. I would take a tour of the State House and get to know your local legislators. It's very important. I would also suggest shadowing as many other regional coordinators as you possibly can. We all kind of have our own style and do things a little bit differently with facilitating groups and how we do things in the community. So I think getting different perspectives is always good because you'll kind of create your own style, but having other people's perspectives is helpful. So I would say first and foremost, be yourself. I think that's the most important thing in this role is be yourself. We're all working in communities of recovery. So I feel like being yourself is just the most important thing, getting to know other people and letting them get to know you. So develop relationships with our community partners, with the peer recovery support centers. And the biggest thing I would advise is to just show up. If they're having an event, show up, show your face, introduce yourself to people, and just be a part of anything that's happening out of any of the centers. It's really the best way to network and build your professional community. Network, network, network. Get to know everyone you can, whether it be members at your local peer recovery support centers, the staff there, other community organizations. It's really all about who you know, and that's how you meet more people and connect with more people. And absolutely. I would say utilize your teammates. We have a wonderful team of very talented and skilled individuals that have been doing this for a very long time, and they are some of the most wonderful people I've ever met in my lifetime. So I would just highly encourage, when in doubt, reach out.
Yeah, we have everybody that we work with, we all feel like family, right? It's because they know that stepping in this role, it's a huge role. It's a huge role, important, but they give us strength, right? To challenge ourselves, to ask the right questions. And we have such an amazing crew. People with master's degrees, people who are great educators, truly wonderful resources. I don't think that my job would have been as easy or as fun if it wasn't with my other coordinators. The coordinators are the most important job at MOAR that there possibly is. We are the voices of the recovery community. We are the ones who see what happens. And we represent our community to the fullest, you know, rely on that strength.
And I would just add, if you are ever looking for a resource, utilize your team. A lot of us have recovery coach backgrounds and are very versed in all of the resources. And the great thing about having regional coordinators and being a statewide program is that we have somebody represented in each part of the state. So even if you're trying to support someone in an area you're not familiar with, you're able to reach out to the coordinator in that area and they'll have the resources that you're looking for.
You'll never come up short. Just reach out. The most fulfilling part for me of my job is when one year I am going to a recovery event and I see a gentleman who was there the year before and had maybe 90 or 30 days. And that was their first moment that they realized that people in recovery play a bigger role than what we think we do. The laws and legislation that have passed for people in our community is because of people of the community. We have the saying, there's nothing for us without us. So that's exactly what it means. A lot of the people who have passed these bills and laws are people in long-term recovery. Recovering out loud is very important. But when you see that it's like 1,200 of us in one room, all on the same path to help other individuals, that's when the job's fulfilling. Job's fulfilling is when you feel like, well, I'm going to be working on a law or a bill that may never become law, and you feel fear. And you come to realize that the more you talk about this with the community, educate them, the more and more that vision gets stronger. And then all of a sudden, you're there to witness the Good Samaritan law passing, the 51A Reform Act that helps individuals dealing with DCF and women, gives them opportunities and dreams. That's the fulfilling part of my job.
I love working in the recovery world, and I feel like there's nothing like it. I feel like there is a common respect that we all have for one another, being individuals in recovery, and that's my favorite thing about it.